Good morning. I'm just packing up, getting ready to head to the airport. It's 6 a.m. My flight leaves in 2 hours. I got an email saying there might be weather delays, which I'm like, please no, because I have a connection leaving from Rome about 2.5 hours after I'm supposed to arrive. So, hoping for the best when it comes to that. Just gonna quickly pack, get my. Okay, I'll be back. Yeah, I'm just gonna head to the terminal now. It's about a 15-minute ride, and then we'll see the check-in experience. We'll get to see everything what Club Europe is like in 2024, and really just hoping my cursed British Airways streak from last year is over. All right, that was a pretty nice start, getting a ride to the airport in a Tesla. 16 pounds for an 8-minute Uber ride, but there's a £5 terminal drop-off fee here at Heathrow, so it's really only an £11 fare. Anyway, today I'm flying down to Rome. It's a 2-hour, 40-minute flight, scheduled flight time, on a typical classic British Airways A320. So I'm really excited just to share this experience with you, and especially share how I upgraded at a really, really incredible price. So the lines for check-in at this time, 6:30 a.m., are really not bad at all. The line for security though, let's see. Hopefully our priority gets us through a little bit faster and we can head and get some nice food before our flight. Although we get food on the flight, you know, there's so many nice options at Heathrow for stuff to bring along and eat, so I can't resist. The UK is the country of travel minis, and it's just, yeah, you cannot pass it up when you're here. I always have to go into Boots. I wish food-wise there was M&S after security at Heathrow, but even, I mean, there's still so many nice options. The land of to-go sandwiches, like this is what I associate with me growing up here, just like £3 meal deal in those days. Oh my god, I was fooled. I love how I'm like, travel minis, so great, so convenient, so cheap. Not. It was £2 for a mini shaving cream. And then when I converted it, I was like, wait a minute, that's the price of a full-size thing somewhere else. So, oops. Okay, the terminal is so crowded, I feel like I needed to hide to talk. Security was so efficient. I'm gonna pop by the club lounge just quickly to show you what it's like. I mean, it's really not my favorite place to spend time. I'd rather grab food somewhere else and go sit at an empty gate in Heathrow because the lounges can get so busy in Terminal 5. That's why I actually prefer the British Airways flights that leave out of Terminal 3, like the ones to where I grew up, Gothenburg. Better lounges, Cathay Pacific Lounge, Qantas Lounge, and not as crowded. So let me head over there. I was gonna stop at Pret on the way, but the lines, oh my gosh, I normally love Pret, but the lines this morning are just not worth it. I'm sorry, Pret. Okay, I was heading to the lounge, but I couldn't resist stopping by this bookstore because the smell of books is so so tempting. So let's see if I find something to buy here. As usual, also a very British thing for me is buy one get one free, or buy one get one half price, those types of things, instead of doing like a percentage discount. But I love it because it makes you want to buy 2 books instead of 1. So here's the problem these days. I was like, this sounds good. But then every time I want to buy a book, I Google it and I Google the reviews, and then no books ever had like 5 stars. So I'm like, okay, just don't need it. Okay, this is, I've spent way too long in here looking up reviews of every single book. Every single book I pick up, I'm like, not good enough reviews, but I really want to buy something, so I'm just like, leave your book tips in the comments below, please. I mean, I prefer reading fiction actually, something that's really suspenseful and keeps you wanting to turn pages, because I'm not like a very natural reader, so I need something to constantly keep me on the hook, and a plot that gets into it very fast, because I can't wait for the plot to start, you know? That's my book preference, so it's a little difficult to find something, but I really want to. All right, just had on 2 books that look quite good. Now, let's go to the lounge. All right, the lounge really isn't for me. I'm gonna go to Pret and just stand in line, because I'd much rather have their food than what BA was serving. Although it wasn't bad, quite a decent selection for breakfast, especially if you compare to like Lufthansa, but yeah, just not my kind of thing. Okay, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like every single thing I saw in Pret looked so much more appealing than the stuff in the lounge. I got the pulled mushroom banh mi, which looks amazing. An idea, since the UK is like the country of grab-and-go sandwiches, why doesn't British Airways introduce that in its lounges? How awesome would that be if they, I mean, when I was young, my all-time favorite was tuna sweet corn. So what if they had like tuna sweet corn grab-and-go, a vegan sandwich grab-and-go, ham and cheese, or whatever people want. Also, I will never understand lounge psychology, why everyone loves sitting in the same spot. The terrace in the lounge is by far the best place to sit, in my opinion. But there were so few people sitting there, I still was like, you know, boarding is soon, I'll get better food somewhere else. But the fact that everyone wants to sit in that central area does not make sense to me. So now, made it to our gate. We have a bus gate today, which is luckily very, very rare at Heathrow. So I guess it's almost a bit of an exciting thing to get to leave from a bus gate here. Okay, so I might save this because I'm a little unsure what the food will be like on my connection, but I mean, tell me this does not look good. And yeah, I have my 2 books, and I grabbed this from the BA lounge. And by the way, not the club lounge, the galleries lounge, of course. We had to drive pretty much all the way to Terminal 3 to get to our plane, but finally made it. And luckily, it's not a Neo. On British Airways, the older planes are actually better. Alright, it is meal time. Here we have some scrambled tofu with some potato, mashed potatoes, some little fruit, cute and tasty looking chips. Okay, let's talk about my impressions of British Airways Club Europe these days. I think it's what everyone expects. I don't hear anyone ever say, wow, Club Europe is so amazing. And especially having come off Virgin Atlantic just the night before, I feel like, you know, there is some work that could be done in terms of service. It just felt like the staff didn't really want to be there. Not a huge deal. At least you get a guaranteed empty middle seat, unless the same thing happens to you as happened to me last summer when I was flying from Billund in Denmark to Heathrow. The flight was overbooked, so they ended up putting people in the middle seats in Club Europe. Then pretty much all you get is the food in terms of onboard experience that's different from economy. And at that point, it's just like, what are you doing it for? So not worth it. I would say the thing that makes it the most worth it is if you can get a ground experience that you wouldn't have otherwise. So for example, I'm One World Sapphire at the moment. I know I lost my Emerald status, I think. Actually, maybe I lose it tomorrow. So anyway, if you don't have status in One World or you don't have anything that will get you priority, I think it's totally worthwhile to upgrade because you'll get priority security, priority check-in, lounge access, all these things that you otherwise wouldn't get. And that brings me to how much I actually paid for this upgrade, which is pretty incredible because I paid about $120 one way for my ticket. The business class or Club Europe fare was $400 for a 2-hour, 40-minute flight. Obviously not really worth it, but what I did was before I booked, I checked if there was award space on British Airways. There was, great. So then I booked the economy fare and immediately called in to upgrade it, which was 8,000 avios and 16 extra dollars in taxes. So cash out of pocket, I paid $16 more to be in Club Europe, and those miles which you can acquire for as little as $12 per thousand. So 12 times 8, 96 plus 16. So it was about $110, $120 to upgrade to Club Europe, which I would say is worth it just for the extra space. It was a very full flight and all of that. If you're curious, wherever you live, how you can earn those British Airways points for $12 per thousand and get started on maybe flying a little more comfortably in the future, make sure to check out my Points Master program at the link at the top of the description. There you'll learn how to go from beginner to expert in seven different award programs. At the link, you can also get a free mini course to get started and learn how to redeem for airlines like Turkish Airlines, Singapore Airlines, ANA, Emirates, some of the world's best in that free mini course to get you started. So check that out if you've wanted to change the way you travel and go from sitting in the back up front for really not much more. On this flight, you know, by using points, I managed to pay about 55 or 60% of the retail price of business just by doing something very, very simple. So that's Points Master for you. That's Club Europe for you. Thank you for joining me in this vlog, and I will see you in the next one. I just have to add here that this is the last day that you can join Points Master at launch pricing. The price will increase by $252 if you join after May 1st. So if you've been thinking about doing it for a long time now and just waiting for the right time, this is it. You can do it at the QR code right here by scanning that. You can do it at the link at the top of the description. Don't miss out, and I can't wait to see even more of you on Points Master. Until I see you in the next video, fly safe.